This is a Glass Box Media podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Shorty's episode. It's the first of the month.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
It's October. I'm excited for October.
I know, spooky season.
And then you guys aren't going to be drinking, so.
Oh God, I know. I sent Christina a text message about how, like, why am I feeling anxious about the end of the month? I'm like, I feel like I have to drink all the wine right now. Like, I need all of the drinks now. Like, this is the last weekend we're going to have until, like, Halloween.
Yeah.
So
and
I'm
I just got a shit ton of wine and booze.
Oh,
I
girl.
never thought I had a problem before, but then Chris last night posed this question to me. If somebody could offer, if you were offered $3 billion, but you were never able to buy alcohol or drugs again, would you do it? Why'd I have to debate myself so?
$3 billion?
I would do that, yes.
But then we were like, well, caveat, maybe somebody else buys us drinks?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If it's just not like, how about I'm going to gift you, a couple,
Also-
$1,000, and you have to allot this much to purchase my drinks for me.
But then didn't you just buy them?
You did. You did just
But no,
buy
you
them.
didn't, because the money is a gift.
Oh, with stipulations, though.
Yeah. I'll buy you a new car and house, and you buy me drinks forever. That's your
Yeah.
only job.
Well, yeah. I mean, I still, like, indirectly. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess that's true.
I'd still take the $3 billion.
I certainly would. Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. If
yeah.
it would alleviate all my
Never.
other problems, yeah, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
I'm
You don't
all
need
like,
to drink if you have that much money. You don't have any problems.
I was like, I put the debate back, and I'm like, well, what if we only took $1 billion and then could buy drinks? I'm like, do I have a problem? That was my question to myself.
honestly, like, I'm looking forward to Sober October just because I like a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like, God, man. But that's what makes me feel like I should do it, is because I'm like, how am I gonna deal if I have like a really shitty audition or like a really bad day? And I'm like, well, I shouldn't be leaning on alcohol anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe
yeah.
it's good that that we're gonna do this. So we, I think, have quite a few new listeners. So if you are a new listener, a Shorty episode is an episode that we do once a month where we read shorter submissions. So we were starting to get worst date stories that were only a couple of sentences, maybe a couple short paragraphs, and weren't really long enough to add into our regular episodes. So we decided to treat you all with a short mini episode every month.
Yeah.
A little bonus material.
Yeah.
Little bonus for your Monday motivation.
Yeah.
So I guess I can start us off.
Okay.
I don't know why I find this so funny. This is terrible. He says, we went to her place and her pets and plants were all dead.
What? Wait.
I'm sorry,
Wait.
her pets
Her
were
pets?
I saw goldfish floating upside down in a fish tank.
No.
And she had a dead hamster in a cage on her dining room table.
Well, why?
She said, that happens a lot. And all I'm imagining is hamster after hamster starving to death right in front of her. The word sociopath floated into my mind.
Oh,
I made
no.
some excuses to leave, and she went a bit nutty at that point, which concerned me quite a bit. But at least I already figured out her head was seriously spun.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I
my
am fucking horrified by
God.
that.
House of death.
I don't
Oh my
like that.
Oh,
I don't like that at all.
Why are you keeping
Why are
dead
you keeping
hamsters
them?
and dead plants and dead
Goldfish.
Oh.
That's some like freaking like
You're like, did you leave
house
for
of
like
a
a
thousand
month?
corpses.
What
Oh,
does her
man.
house smell like?
Oh God! Even live hamsters kind of make your house
Honestly,
smell.
it's
Like
true.
a dead hamster. No,
Ugh.
thank you.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh, speaking of, perfect segue. Speaking of dead hamsters.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
Okay, so I'm hanging out with my parents and my brother and his husband last night, and we're kind of having drinks after dinner, just talking stuff. And I don't even know how this came up. Chris is from Australia. And so he's like, oh, that reminds me of the rabbit plagues that we have there. I made everyone stop talking and I turned and looked. He told me, did you know that rabbits are not indigenous to Australia? They got brought there by England.
Sure.
They have to put up rabbit fences. They are over fucking run by armies and hordes of rabbits
because their natural predators don't exist there?
Exactly. They don't.
Oh, man.
So they have like rabbit plagues every now and then. They just recently had one in the 2000s. I was like,
I'm sorry. I know that that's probably horrifying, but like it's
so
like the
scary.
cutest plague I've ever seen. You know, like
a horde of rabbits. I was like, this is like
Watership
Watership Down.
Oh
was
dear.
Like, I don't know why. It's like really, really scary. But
What if
also,
they were the red-eyed ones?
I know.
The little white ones with red eyes. You're like,
all of a sudden you're like
no.
out at night and like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of
my God,
eyes
just
flash
imagine.
at you.
Have you seen that thread? Have you seen the thread that's like all the shit that happens in Australia? I looked at that thread before I went to bed and I was like, I'm terrified right now. They have the biggest animals I have ever seen. I am a lizard lover, but they had these monitor lizards that were literally like the size of a human, just plastered on the side of a house. And I was like,
that.
what? That's a dinosaur. What would you do if you woke up to that? Oh my
Just
God.
looking in your window.
Like, hey buddy. Oh, I don't like
like
it.
that.
I'd call the rabbit army.
911.
Hi, I have a bit of a problem here.
Could you guys maybe take care of this? That'd be great.
It's just like, that's crazy. They like all their neighborhoods are surrounded by like rabbit fences and stuff.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Australian listeners, we know some of you are out there. I'm going to need you to write
I want to
your
know
crazy
more
ass
about
stories.
the rabbit hordes.
Yes.
I need to know
Rabbit
more
armies.
information. It's on Wikipedia. I looked and I looked for rabbit plague and it came up. There's a whole freaking and a long Wikipedia.
I like that you
thing
did
about it.
research
And I was like,
on this.
I know.
Because you're like, this isn't real.
You're like, I need videos. Surely someone has taken videos.
Oh, my God. I bet there's videos.
oh, we're
You know what?
YouTubing this
Have
for
you
sure.
seen in Australia, one of those pictures was like there were like just fields and fields, like prairies of spider webs.
Ooh.
Imagine a rabbit army running through a field of spider webs.
Oh my God. I just got chills.
So scared.
Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it. Okay, well, maybe your death lady can date this guy. Maybe
Okay,
they're a
Jesus.
match. This one's very short.
This
but
is very October then.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Very spooky.
I was on a blind date. We went to a coffee shop close to our university. He was very high and it was hard to get a conversation going. He just kept telling me I was beautiful as the brick wall we were sitting next to.
Oh.
Which is a very high thing to say. You're as pretty as that wall.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you.
And this is the part. And that my skin looked soft enough to be made into a nice robe.
Oh, no. Oh, listen, Ed Gein.
The date
Listen.
lasted 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'll put the lotion in your basket and get
Listen.
the fuck out.
Oh,
Out.
no.
Get the Ed Gein out of here.
Yeah.
I hate all of
Get
that.
all of the Buffalo Bill out.
Oh no.
Oh. You're like, thanks, I use lotion.
Wow.
What kind of lotion do you use?
Mine is called Creepy Teacher Guy. I went on a Tinder date with a guy. Let's call him John. John seemed nice first of all. Funny. We had a few things in common. He asked for my number, so I gave it to him. He rang me. And because I don't answer straight away, he called me a dickhead. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
He spends way too much time around preteens if he's like using
Hey, dickhead.
insults like that.
He managed to persuade me to go on a date. We went to a Mexican restaurant where he called me a weirdo for wearing the sombrero. He then, which I kind of agree. I don't know. That seems weird. He then suggested we go to his house to watch a film. He reassured me nothing would happen. He lives with 7 people, so we wouldn't be alone.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Time out.
All right.
Time
Snow White.
the fuck out. Precisely. Yes.
What the fuck is going
What's
on there?
happening here? Are you in a cult? Because that's the only acceptable answer if you're living
Is
with
this a
7
commune?
other people. Yeah.
I feel lots of bunk beds.
Oh,
I hate all of it.
Yep.
pallets on the floor.
Yeah,
I don't
you
like
know how
it.
I feel about living spaces. We had
yes.
that.
We had that
last
discussion.
episode.
I was very stupidly said yes. He called me a twat for smiling at one of his housemates. He told me he was a supply teacher, which is a good because he had a fucking school uniform fetish. Ugh. I then left very quickly as he started to touch himself. I never saw him again. He did text me a few months later asking to be friends because he didn't have any. I fucking wonder why.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my
no.
God.
Oh no. He insulted you no less than like 4 times.
I know. I was like, wait,
Neg much?
Wait, yeah, exactly. And then, the ultimate neg is to just like start wanking
Just
it.
take it out. Just whip it out. I don't like that.
Don't do that.
I also
Please
don't
don't do
like
that.
having a schoolgirl fetish whenever you're a teacher.
I don't
Yeah,
like that.
no.
I don't like that.
That's yikes.
And to just put that out there on a first date. Okay. Yeah. There's so much wrong with that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. This guy says, I met a girl from my university for dinner one time. And she started off the date by saying she only ate with her hands and didn't use utensils because she's a quote unquote super taster and can taste the metals the forks are made of. This wouldn't have been a problem if we were eating finger foods, of course, but it was a problem as I watched her eat a salmon fillet and wild rice
my
like
God.
fucking Gollum.
Oh my
Gollum.
God.
That's so specific. And I
And
know
you see it.
exactly what he's talking about.
I see it. Wild
Oh,
rice
it's just
and salmon just
shoveling it in, just fistfuls of
Oh,
rice.
I hate. Oh, these are
In
terrible.
my head, like, how does she eat like
a
a
nightmare.
fettuccine Alfredo?
Like a fucking toddler.
She keeps
With a
missing
high
her
chair.
mouth. She keeps missing her mouth with just noodles all over her face.
Did you do the airplane?
Oh,
my
a
God.
super taster. Get the,
Yeah,
get
get
the fuck
out of here. And also,
Like, what's on your hands?
also get there's so many different types of
Plastic
utensils
fork.
then bring your fucking own, but like don't mow down like that's
Or
fucking
only ever order finger food. Like, you're
Yes.
only allowed to eat chicken fingers and french fries.
and pizza.
Yeah.
If that's
Yeah.
what you're doing. I mean, and also, like, so is she just keeping... If you're a super taster, aren't you just tasting everything anyway? So it's
then
just
you're
like if you wash
tasting
your...
fucking hands.
Yeah, exactly. So if you wash your hands, which I hope that you do, if you're
prayers.
eating using
Thoughts
your
and
hands,
prayers.
then aren't you tasting the soap? And if
Yeah.
you don't, aren't you tasting everything you touch? Like, I don't know. I see I see cracks in her
see
logic
cracks
here.
in this. Don't eat a salmon fillet and wild rice.
Can you imagine?
Oh God, like Gollum.
You're at a restaurant. Oh. No. Okay. All right. He took me to go see a psychic who proceeded to, which coming in hot
Already.
Like, yeah, this is the first date. He took you to go see a psychic. Cool. Who proceeded to tell him that we wouldn't last as a couple and would end up splitting up. On the 2-hour drive home, he cried and said he didn't see the point in dating if we weren't going to end up in a proper relationship.
Oh,
I just wanted to get the hell out of there. But to make matters worse, when he pulled up outside my house, he locked me in his van and wouldn't let me out.
no,
Oh,
no,
no.
no, no.
Oh, and then he would watch me from his van for about 3 weeks afterwards and ring my phone continuously so I couldn't use it.
What in
There's a lot happening here.
loving fuck?
There's a lot happening here.
There's
First
a
of all,
lot.
it's a first
Oh.
date. He took you to a psychic 2 hours away.
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Oh.
As we've said on this podcast before, that's too far to go
Yeah.
on a date. Like, it's too far. And then he cried.
Oh.
So you had a bit of a crying man situation happening.
Don't like that.
Oh,
I need a longer story. Like, I need something more in depth because I'm like, he locked you in his van for how long?
right.
And to what
And then
end?
surveilled
how
you,
did
basically.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then for the next 3 weeks, waited outside your house with his creepy fucking van. Also,
Also, block his number.
Also,
if he keeps calling you.
imagine a guy picking you up on a first date, like, in a van. I'd be like,
yeah, no, I've not had a pickup situation. I'm a meet there kind of person. You get yourself there and back, and I'll get myself there and back, and that's that. Like, yeah, I don't. A stranger's car, like when you don't know them. No, thank you. No, that's a no for me.
Well, are we gonna do a
Would you rather? Oh my gosh,
We forgot
yes.
last month.
Yes, we totally need to. Let's let's see. What do we want to go with? It's kind of October-y. It's fall.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do a spooky would you rather. For one night, would you rather be chased by killers for a whole night in the middle of nowhere or be possessed by a demon for a whole night?
Be possessed. Certainly.
Yeah, I
For
feel
a
like
night.
you won't remember that.
Yeah.
It's happening to you.
I do not like being chased.
Well, I'm not a good runner, so.
I'm not a good runner. I don't like being chased. I get tired very easily. I get winded going upstairs. However, the idea of having my body violated, like my body possessed, like you can't escape that. Like maybe you can outrun or hide or outsmart like a killer that's chasing you.
Yeah.
And, you know, I guess when dawn comes, it ends. You know, maybe you could find somewhere to hide. But, like, you can't hide from a demon possessing your body.
I'm with Cassie, though. Like, I hate being afraid so much that I feel like because it's possessing you, then you don't have to feel fear.
True.
And that's ultimately what I'm running from, is running from feeling afraid. So, like,
I guess that's true.
Like, I'm like, oh, I won't.
I don't know. In my mind, I feel like, I guess it depends on how you're being possessed because it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the science?
It depends. Yeah, what's the science behind this? Because
And will it feel like a long nap
are
while it's
you
happening?
aware of what's happening
Right.
to you? Because I think if you are aware of what's happening, I think that's way more terrifying.
And to not have control or
to not
autonomy.
have any control would be like awful.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, then sure.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna operate under the premise of what I feel like possession would be like. So I'm gonna say I would rather be running from killers because I don't want to. I want to be able to have control. If I'm gonna die, at least I want it to be like me.
I can see what you're saying. Having control of what the situation is a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's a good one. Well, if you've got would you rathers or little short stories or just want to reach out, go to our one-stop shop of a website. That's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.